Hi there, it's Super Game Boy 23 here, back again with another video. This time I wanted to do something a bit more different. I figured that, making videos of me playing games, it's fun and all, but I wanted to do something a bit more different, like perhaps like showing my collection of games. So I was like, that sounds like a great idea. Today we're mostly gonna focus on some SNES, N64, and Nintendo GameCube games that I have in my collection because I have a lot of games, like a lot of games, and I feel like they're not gonna be able to fit in a whole single video. So let's just focus on those three for now. And yeah, let's start with our first game for the Super Nintendo. Side note, you may be wondering, why am I starting with the SNES and not the NES? Well, you see, I don't have a NES, well, yet. Hopefully in the future I might get one, let's see. But for now we gotta start with the SNES. And our first game on the list is Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. Man, such a great game. I had a lot of fun playing this. And this has to be one of my favorite Super Mario Bros. Games of all time. For me, in my opinion, this one goes first. Then the second one has to be Mario Bros. 3. And then the third one has to be the more recent one that I made, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Because I feel it was a great continuation of this game. I consider Super Mario Bros. Wonder being the fifth one in the series. But man, this game is actually a pretty good game. If you haven't played this game already, please give it a try. It's a pretty good game. I really recommend it. One of the best platformers out there, especially in the 16-bit era. So yeah, let's take a look at the other games. Now another game, this one is F-Zero, which I think this was one of the first launch titles for the Super Nintendo. But yeah, it's a pretty good racing game. It uses the Mode 7 graphics, which, yeah, for today's standards are not the best looking, but hey, it was a technical marvel back in the day. But hey, it's still a pretty good game. I still recommend it. Here we have another good game. This time being Mortal Kombat 1 for the Super Nintendo. And yeah, I know it's in a rough state right now, but it's still a pretty good game. I think this one lacks the blood and the gore from the original arcade release. If you wanted to have all of that, you have to play like the Sega Genesis one, but I think you still have to go to settings to turn that thing on. But yeah, it's still a pretty good game without the blood and gore. Let's check the other games that we have in the collection. Another fighting game, Mortal Kombat 2. This time actually has the blood and violence, but it's pretty much more of the less, just better. The soundtrack on this is actually pretty good. Me personally, I'm a huge fan of the 16-bit, era of music, video game music, should I say. But yeah, another good game that I really recommend for the Super Nintendo. Let's check the other ones. Tiny Toons Adventure, Buster Butts Blues. Okay, I actually only play this game a little bit. It might have its fans, but I'm not one of them. I always keep getting stuck on a very specific part of the game. I really don't remember which one, but oh well. Someone might like this game. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of this one. So, but yeah, let's go to the other one. Another one on the list is Firepower 2000, made by Sunsoft. This game is basically a top-down shooter, and yeah, it's a pretty decent game. Me personally, again, I'm not into that type of genre, but it has its fans. I'm not calling this a horrible game. Just saying that for me, not a big fan of it, but it's still a pretty good game. Still recommend it if you're into that kind of gameplay style. But yeah, let's check the other ones. This one being off-road, super off-road, and I really cannot read what it says over here. Oh well. But yeah, another actually pretty good game. I actually enjoyed this one. Made by Trey West. I think the same publishers who published the Battletoads. I know it was made by Rare, but they published some of their games. But this is actually a pretty good racing game, and yeah, if you're into that type of gameplay style, like racing games, for the 16-bit era, I really recommend this one. It has its charms, and the physics are kind of wonky. I have to give it that, but it's an alright game. It's actually pretty decent. But yeah, let's check the 3 other more SNES games. Now, the other game is Turtles in Time, which you can see the card is actually pretty beat up. You can see in the back, you can see the insides of it, and yeah, this case haven't really aged that well, but I'm trying my best to preserve it as much as I can, but it still plays good, and yeah, it sometimes may crash here and there, but it still works. That only happened to me like 2 times, and that's pretty much it. But overall, has to be one of the best beat 'em up games there on the Super Nintendo. And yeah, if you're into this type of genre, then yeah, you should go for it. It's actually a pretty good game. I really recommend it. And let's check the other 2 last Super Nintendo games in my collection. Now on the list, Tetris 2. This over here is peak, in my opinion. This is my favorite Tetris of all time. The music is great. The graphics, I mean, I know they're 16-bit. They're not like, you know, like modern time graphics, but something about it, it's just have its own charm, you know. And I like this version because of its music, what is it called, the vibrant colors, and the gameplay is actually pretty solid. I know there's been a NES version of this one, which I also like, but mostly for the music. The graphics of those ones are actually a downgrade. I mean, it's obvious because, you know, we're comparing a 8-bit machine with a 16-bit one, but overall, this is actually a pretty good pick if you're into puzzle games. But yeah, now let's check the last game on my Super Nintendo collection. Okay, now for the last one for the Super Nintendo, we're gonna be looking at Super Mario All-Stars. This over here was one of my first Super Mario games that I ever played. And this is a compilation of Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 2, which is called The Lost Levels, and Super Mario Bros. 2 for the US, and Super Mario Bros. 3. So basically, it's a collection of 4 Mario games from the NES, which they've been some sort of remastered for the Super Nintendo. But overall, this is such a great game. If you want to like collect for the Super Nintendo, I recommend this one, especially because it contains 4 games and 1 cartridge, which, come on, that's a great deal. And usually these ones don't go really that expensive, I mean, for what I know, but yeah, they're pretty much cheap to collect, you know. Well, loose like this, yeah, but in box, that's a different story. But yeah, now let's take a look at my N64 collection, which is actually pretty small, but hang on tight. Now for my N64 collection of games, which is actually pretty small. I'm still collecting some more. Maybe in the future I might have 10, who knows? But But yeah, now we have 1080 Snowboarding, which is actually a pretty good game. Compared to the other ones that I have in my collection, well, the N64 collection, this one has to be the smaller one. It's pretty much a snowboarding and doing some tests and doing some tricks, you know. It's your typical like sporting game, but overall it's actually a pretty good pick. These ones actually are not really that expensive, so they're actually, you know, beginner friendly to collect. But yeah, let's check the other ones. Now this is the only N64 game that I have in box. Sadly, it doesn't have the manual, but the game is still in there. But as you can see, it's a EA Sports game, so you know I got this one cheap, $15, which is not that bad. Maybe I could have got it for less, but still not bad. But yeah, this game is actually pretty decent, and yeah, it's just your normal NASCAR game. To be honest, it's like, alright, it's nothing great as a Mario Kart, but hey, I'll still take it. But yeah, I thought it was something cool to share. But let's check the other two N64 games in my collection. Now we're looking at KY Gold, or referred as Killer Instinct Gold. This game has to be one of the greatest fighting games I've played of all time. Come on, it's a title made by Rare. Come on, it's actually pretty fun, you know, like the combo system, the soundtrack, the characters, all about this game is peak, well, in my opinion. But this game over here is a must play for those who are into fighting games, especially for the N64 era. This game over here was one of the first launch titles, I think, for the N64. But yeah, I mean, it still looks good for an early N64 game. And now, I gotta show you the most important one of my N64 collection. Okay, come on, it has to be another Rare title. This one being Banjo-Kazooie. This game, this freaking game over here did what Mario 64 did, but made it 10 times better. And it's kind of more difficult as well, compared to Mario 64. It's nothing that, I mean, it's not that bad in terms of difficulty, but this game will actually give you a challenge, especially if you're trying to like 100% this game. And well, I don't want to spoil the ending, but yeah, overall this game is one of the peaks of the N64. This is a classic. Not only a classic for the N64, but a rareware classic. That was all of my N64 collection of games. Okay, now we're gonna take a look at some GameCube games. Alright, our first GameCube game is Pac-Man World 2. This was actually my first complete in-case GameCube game, and I got this one for 20 bucks, which is not that bad. And here's the inside of it. We have the game disc here, the manual, and this is something that I like about the GameCube era. The manuals, as you can see here, it's printed with color, and all of these renders of the characters have this some sort of charm to it. It looks really neat, and this game actually is pretty good. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not like a Mario, but like, it's a pretty solid platformer, I'll give you that. Now for the other Nintendo GameCube game in my collection, we have Crazy Taxi. This game, it's a pretty fun one. It's about, as you can see here in the back, basically you drive a taxi at full speed, and try to complete objectives. Your main one being try to deliver your passengers on time. And overall, this is a pretty fun game. And as you can see inside it, here's a game disc, and then over here, the manual. Sadly, this one is in black and white. If I can just get this open. The only pages on color is this one. You can see here the GameCube controller, some text, but it's mostly black and white. Mostly like third-party games of this era. They only use a black and white tone for their game manuals. But overall, this is a pretty good game. And now our next game here is Super Mario Sunshine. And yeah, as you can see, there used to be a GameStop sticker here. In my opinion, it's kind of annoying because, as you can see, it doesn't get up that easily. I need to use some sort of alcohol or something. But overall, this game, let's see if I can get the camera to focus really quick. Yep, there it is. Overall, this is actually a pretty good game. I mean, compared to the other Mario titles, this one is the most polarizing in terms of this one is like considered to be the black sheep of the family, but overall it's a pretty good game. The difficulty on this game is it's a bit harder than usual, but it's nothing that crazy. It's not Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels type of difficulty, but overall there's some sort of good challenge there. And as you can see, here's the game disc, the manual, which again they just look amazing. Like these renders, man, they have, look at that. That's amazing. But yeah, now let's get to our next game. Okay, now this one is an interesting one because this was one of the first rated M games published by Nintendo, as you can see here. And this game is actually pretty quirky and unique. And it's a first-person shooter. And let me see if I can get the camera to focus. And it's about taking possession. It's basically like, it's almost like the same mechanics as Mario Odyssey, but in my opinion, less refined, of course. But overall, what is it called? This is actually a pretty interesting Nintendo GameCube game, and I really recommend giving a shot at this one because I feel there's not a lot of games like this one out there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This game, pretty interesting one. Also, this is how it looks inside. As you can see, here's the game disc, and here's the instruction booklet. Again, I'm not sure if this one is color. I think it is. What the first page is. Let's see if I can find. Sadly, some of the images, yes, are color, but mostly it's black and white, as I can see here. But overall, it's a pretty interesting game. Okay, now these two GameCube games, I haven't really played that much of them because I got those recently. But overall, I heard pretty good things about them. So here's one of them, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. And as you can see, this one is the player choice version or variant. It has the yellow label. And yeah, I mean, I heard pretty good things about this game. I still haven't played it. I know, it's a sin for me to say that, but overall, I'm looking forward to play this one when I get time. And this is how it looks inside. Here's the golden disc, which it looks amazing. In person, it looks even better. And here's the manual, again, in color, with that amazing artwork. And let's see if I can, there it is. There's even more amazing artwork. Yeah, this just looks gorgeous. And yeah, and now let's take a look at another one that I still haven't played. This one is interesting because this is the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. It contains 4 classic games of the Legend of Zelda series, and this one is a not for resale variant, I think. This is how it looks on the back. If I can let that focus, there it is. And yeah, that's how it looks in the back. This is basically a collection of Legend of Zelda for the NES, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time of the N64, the sequel of this one, Legend of Zelda, also for the NES. Then this one is the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, again another N64 title. And then this one also includes the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker playable demo. And yeah, I still haven't played this one yet. I know it's a sin for me to say that, but oh well, maybe one day. And here we have the disc, if I can focus that. This is how it looks. And again, here's the manual. Focus. Okay, so this is how it looks. As the controller, silver controller. Let's see if I can get any screenshots of this. One that looks interesting. Yeah. Oh, never mind. And yeah, and then here's some Nintendo Power promotional material over here. Focus, my apologies. And yeah, overall this is actually pretty nice bundle over here. But yeah, now let's check the other 2 Nintendo GameCube games in my collection. Okay, now I present to you Metroid Prime 1 for the Nintendo GameCube, but this version of the game is a bit different because this one includes the Metroid Prime Echoes, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes bonus disc, which that means that this particular one has 2 discs. And I'm gonna show you here right now. Here's the disc for the main game, and then here's the bonus disc. I think these ones only contain like the demos, not the full game, just a demo of it. And here again the manual. If I can get that to focus. And again, more amazing artwork, as you can see here. Oh. These amazing screenshots of the game, all of the beams, different type of beams. Overall, this game is actually a pretty fun game, and the controls for this one sadly are a bit weird, but there's been a Nintendo made a remaster of this particular game, which I really recommend. It improved the controls. You know, like if it was like a regular like dual stick format. But overall, this is a good pick over here. Now for our last GameCube game in my collection, we have Star Fox Adventure. Man, I have a lot to say about this game. And okay, I understand that it's not the best Star Fox game out there. I know that for a fact, but that still doesn't stop me for liking this game, because this game, yeah, it may say Star Fox Adventures in the title, but for me this game will always be Dinosaur Planet. For those who don't know, what is it called, this game, this one was made by again, oh, where is it? Somewhere over here. There it is. It was made by, let's see if I can, by Rare, as you can see over here. This game was actually supposed to be made on the Nintendo 64, but because of some delays and development cost and, you know, those issues, I really don't want to get into it that much here in this video. Well, they pushed it back. Plus, at first this game wasn't gonna be a Star Fox game. It was gonna be a different game called Dinosaur Planet. But apparently sometime during those times, Miyamoto went to Rare and saw the characters that they were making for Dinosaur Planet, which resembled a wolf named Saber, but it turns out it looked pretty similar to Fox over here. And Miyamoto was like, oh, you know what? Here, use Star Fox instead. And they're like, oh, okay then. But overall, this game, it's a pretty fun game. I really recommend this one. The music is just astounding. The graphics, this game has to be one of the best looking games on the Nintendo GameCube. Like, no joke. Like, this game runs on 60 FPS all the time on the Nintendo GameCube. Like, wow. And this game was made in 2002. Like, come on. And yeah, this game, I mean, let me show you the back. Here's all of the characters, as you can see here. And again, the front. Yeah, so some people may call this as a Zelda clone. I mean, for me it's not an issue, but for some people it is. But overall, it's still a good game. I still recommend playing this one. And this is how it looks in the front. Well, this is the front. I meant like the inside here. And as you can see, we have the game disc with that cool Rareware logo. Then we have the instruction booklet here. And again, look at these colors. Like, man, like there's the other Rareware logo. This game has a lot of charm. Like, a lot. And the graphics are pleasing to look at. For some it may not, but you know, it's still a good looking game overall. And here's the characters. I know they look a bit uncanny, I'll give you that. Here's the dinosaurs. So look. And the story, I'll give you that. The story of this game is not as good. It could have been better, but we need to take it in mind that this game was made when purchased by Microsoft back in the day, and sadly this was basically Rare's last video game on the Nintendo console. And well, all of that changed because of the NSO and stuff like that, but still, like, this was the last time when Rare and Nintendo really worked together as partners. But yeah, overall, this is gonna be the end of my GameCube collection. And yeah, this is pretty much the end of today's video game collection. I hope you guys enjoy, and make sure to stay tuned because I am gonna make a second episode of this video game collection. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments which one of these games were your favorite. And overall, have a good one. See you on the next one.